Hey all, welcome to the Sanctum. This is AL. Yep. So you're going to actually see me today. I'm going to give this a try. We'll see how it goes. As you may know, I usually do keep my face off of the screen. I'm trying this for one time just to see how this goes. So we shall see, and you shall see. I cannot see without my glasses on. You probably see me put my glasses down occasionally on the videos, usually when I'm making a point or when I get very emotional or in depth. So I wanted to let you see a little bit of me. I've been promising that when the time is right, it would happen. Well, recently, I came out on a post in Twitter, merging my two accounts, kind of, where I am Sonara Tregarth and I'm also A. Alexander. It came up because of a tweet from Lexi Alexander, who is a fantastic female director and a martial artist. And it came out about basically strong women and male fetishists and how it related. And actually, it's one of the reasons why I originally left my Sonara account back in 2009, 2010. Was offline for a while, came back in 2016, 2017, although I had been on and off through the years, mostly off due to a stalker issue, came back due to other issues, political and otherwise, and then came onto the A.L. Xander account. So we're going to give this a try, but I wanted to give you a heads up on why you're seeing me today versus just seeing the cards in my hands. So, I wanted to do this because one of the things that I often talk about and people always ask about is, and I do apologize, I wanted to answer this question because this is actually one of the things that I was dealing with was actually a client, which is what brought up this video. Is on one of my videos I talked about harmonies and disharmonies in the tarot, reading styles. So I wanted to actually do a video and show it both in tarot and in oracle cards. And I wanted to go over how you can figure out the harmonies and disharmonies yourself. And especially if you guys are learning to read or you are a reader, it may not be a particular thing you do. So I wanted to do that. Now you're probably also wondering where my mic is. So I wanted to actually mention this quickly because I have to thank my Anam Kara, who was insistent that I get a new mic because I had my other mic, which I had bought. I originally had a lavalier mic, got a different regular set mic that was sitting here. Which worked perfectly fine according to me, but according to him, not so much. So I ended up getting from a very good friend of mine a blue Yeti snowball ice, which is up here with my arm. So you can't see it; it's not in the screen, although it can be lowered down at any time closer, depending if I'm just doing audio, which will happen when I just go back to showing you cards. I'm also filming this today a little bit different. It's not on my usual camera that I film. This is actually being done off my laptop, my new laptop. So I wanted to go ahead and do that. So today we're going to use two different decks. We're going to use my the Simple Tarot deck by Angie Green, and we're going to use the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by John Holland. We can use almost any deck, the Divine Feminine Oracle, and actually it was just funny. You're going to see that this is open. And this may open. Don't panic. All of my decks are in this cabinet. Almost all. There's some at work. Like 5, 6 decks. I'm not joking. And like, no, seriously, I'm not joking. The Gaia Tarot. Wisdom of the Oracles. My crystals. My tarot box. Numerology deck. Like, no, seriously, they're just sitting here. They're just waiting to be grabbed. Shadowscape Tarot. So it's just a matter of grabbing whichever ones I want. And my Spirit Keeper's Tarot by Annabelle Wynn. I'm waiting for my next deck. So I'll have two. I'll have this one and the Vitruvian edition. I'm so excited. So, and I don't mean to rub it into anybody else, but yeah, I am beyond thrilled. So we're going to do this reading, and I want you guys to understand something about harmonies and disharmonies. Sometimes what we think is disharmony isn't. It's a harmonic within the deck itself. It doesn't necessarily mean harmonics within you or what the reading is for you. And that's something that people don't always understand. So one of the things is, I like to be able to turn around, and when I do a reading, I look at the cards. And you probably have noticed a couple of times when I do readings for you, whether it's a pick a card reading or those of you who've gotten private readings from me on video, have probably noticed that there are times that I stop doing a reading and I look at the cards. Whether it be I pick up the cards and I look at them and then I lay them out in order of which they flow, which is basically part of the harmonics. Or if I'm getting something on top of it, that's one of the part and parcel of what I do. Is I look at the harmonics of the cards internally and externally, what they are saying to me and what they're doing. And sometimes I'll hear things, clairaudience wise, clairsentience. Being an empath means that I do pick up emotions. So for those of you who've had private readings, you probably have heard of things that I'm feeling, things that, emotions that I'm having come to me in regards to this. Well, those two cards, stop jumping. We're not going to go with jump cards for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the deck, and I'm going to lay it out towards me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it towards you. So it's going to be a little bit weird. Now, one thing I want to tell you too is about deck flips. What? Deck flips? What the heck is this? This is when you lay out a card. So if you flip it this way, you always flip it this way. If you do this, you flip it this way all the way through. Whatever way you choose, I alternate. Oh, Lord have mercy. Give me a second. They're calling again. All right. So sorry about that. But now that I've got them taken care of, let's get back to this harmony and disharmony. So we're going to go ahead and do the cards. I'm going to pull out 8 cards, and then we're going to go from there. Now, what I usually recommend when we do harmonious or disharmonious readings, even cards help, but you don't have to do even cards, and I will show you that too. We're going to do the tarot first, and then we'll do oracle cards. I'm going to do tarot because most people have tarot decks of some kind. It doesn't matter if you have a regular tarot deck. You can have the fairy tarot cards. You can have the witch's tarot. You can even have the borderless tarot, which I love too, by the way. So you can have any kind of deck out there that's tarot style tarot that has the 78 cards. I'm using the simple tarot because, oh my God, I love them. Angie Green, this is the beginner's deck that has the meanings on it, and I love it because it sparks me every so often. I can see the word, and whichever word catches me usually gets me into my mode of going, oh, that picture is sparking that word. This word sparks the meanings beyond that. And then she has her regular deck, which has no words on it except for what the actual card is, which I love that deck too. But for whatever reason, when I use the beginner deck with my clients, they love it because then they can see the meanings on the cards and they get into the whole aspect. So when I start reading them and they start seeing the words on the cards, they start referring it to themselves, and it seems to be a better way to track for themselves, and it makes it a little bit more intuitive for them as well. So what we're gonna do, oh, I love this. Intriguing. And we still managed to get 4 minors from at least one from every style. Okay. So, and I'm sorry about playing with my hair, but I just had it done. colored and stuff. And my hair is all wavy, curly kind of thing. So I'm not used to it yet. So let's get done with this. So interesting thing. When I look at the cards, the first thing I look for are two sets of things. I look at how many majors. I look at the type of minors. So if there are minors, I look at, are there any court cards? And then I look at how many of each card there are. So is there one of every minor card there? So are there wands? Are there pentacles? Are there swords? Are there cups? So if there's one of every representative of every deck there, then I know of every minor arcana there, then what I can know is that at least we're going to be dealing with every single portion of a person's life. If we don't have that, then we know that something's missing. So there is a disharmony right off the bat because we're lacking something. I know that sounds kind of weird, and it's something that you don't normally hear from somebody, because they're thinking, oh, if it's not there, then it has it doesn't pertain to the question at hand. But it does, because it means that it's not within that realm. It's not being spoken about. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's a bad thing, but it means that maybe it still needs to be addressed in a different way. So let's talk cards. First thing is the Eight of Wands. Let's see if I can make it. Yeah, there we go. So Eight of Wands, which is all about change. Woo, change. We have the Six of Lovers in reverse. Page of Wands, which is a court card, in reverse. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Cups, one of my favorite cards. Party! Five of Swords. It's like, really? You gonna be like this? I see how you is. Five of Pentacles in reverse. And the Tower card. Bad Tower, bad, right? We're gonna talk about that. So, now, if anybody else looks at this deck, they're gonna see, oh my god, there are 4 reverse deck cards and 4 cards right side up. Now, normally when I see this 4 and 4, I'll think, okay, so there is a balance within it. Cards even each other out. However, that means that there is an internal harmony of pairing of cards. Now, where do the harmonics actually lie? Now, we know we have only one court card and it's in reverse. So we know that that is going to be our starting point that I would look at. Yes, you would think, oh, major arcana. No, not really. The major arcana are going to be foci. They're going to be the parts that we look at and look to as being our signifiers of what the events are, what we're going to work towards. So what I would normally do in my mind is go, these are the things that we're looking at as our point. Boop. This is what is happening. We're looking at choices that are not being made, choices that are basically running us by, breaking up, somebody's leaving. Take it as you will. We'll get more into exactly how that works in a minute. And we're looking at change is in the air. You can't escape it anyhow, anywhere. So we're going to go and talk about the hows, the whys, and the wheres, and where the harmony lies and where the disharmony lies. Now, I'm going to say this about reverse cards now, and you probably have heard it before, and I know those of you who have heard it are going to be like, and skip it. However, I really, 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 really want you to hear this again. So, reverse cards are not bad. Get it? Reverse cards are not bad cards. They're protective cards. They're reminders. Some cards that are straight up are bad. I mean, hello, Five of Swords, self-deceit, self-destruction, victory through deceit. So you cheated to win. Hey, bad card, and it's not upside down. Get it? Tower card. Boom, baby, you're falling. Crap has hit the fan, and you can't get out of it. This is a bad card for most people. Oh my God. And guess what? It's not reversed. So reversals are not necessarily bad. Why? I want to show you this card, and I'm going to laugh at everybody who tells me that reverse cards are bad. So look at this card. Five of Pentacles. What does it say? Financial trouble, isolation, and basically it's about financial insecurity. Well, this card was reversed. Get it? So if it was right side up, we would be having these things. We would be dealing with insecurity, financial problems. So what does it mean being reversed? Well, it's telling you, hey, look, this shit can happen if you're not careful. So what we need to do now is, what are you doing and looking at that might cause this issue? Or are you in this issue and you're on your way out, and we want to make sure you get fully out of the problem? Reverse cards are telling you, watch your step, go forward, be careful. Things happen, and if you're not careful about it, you can fall back into the same trap. So, reverse cards are protection cards. They're cards that tell you, hey, warning. Stop, look, listen. Are you heading in the wrong direction? Maybe. Are you possibly not going in the way that you're supposed to go? Maybe you're working your way out of a bad situation and you need to double check yourself to make sure that you aren't going to fall back in, make a wrong maneuver. It's possible, people. Reversal cards are not bad. Get over that thought process. I'm emphasizing this because that's what the phone call was about. I sent the reading and I knew the person was going to be a little bit perturbed because they had a lot of reversal cards. But their harmony within the cards were perfect. And I emphasized the fact that I was so proud of the fact that even though with the reversal cards in there, that they were on the right track. They were doing the things they needed to do. And it was beautiful. The reading was the situation they were in was more than I could possibly hope for. But I knew that the way they thought that I was going to end up getting a phone call, which sure enough I did. And we went through everything. And after talking to them about everything, they finally realized that, yes, AL knows what she talks about. So let's go ahead and go into this reading. So we're going to talk more about harmonies and disharmonies, okay? So you're probably thinking, oh, so we're going to group together all the reds, all the greens, all the... Not always, no. Mm-mm. You know that little kitty gif? That's me right now. I'm going to figure out a way to insert that kitty gif into this. Yeah. I like that kitty gif a lot. Maybe into the corner right here. I can just see my friends going, don't do it. Yes, do it, do it, do it. So we're going to start with the page because this court card is basically about you. By the way, if you haven't read it yet, Ethany Dawn, I love her. I love her. She's my heart. Her and Menabel Wen, Mary Greer, and quite a few others. But, oh gosh, and Teresa Reed. Please don't let me forget Teresa Reed because I love her stuff. But Ethany Dawn really has a brand new book out through Llewellyn about the tarot court. If you really want to learn more about the tarot court, she has this book out, which is fabulous. Please, 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 please go get it. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get it through Kindle, through the Nook app, in print. Run and get it, because if you really want to get into deep to realize how the court cards work for you, this is the book for you. There were insights in that book that just blew me away. I cannot say enough. I'll put a link below so you can actually go ahead and get that book. So bravo for Ethany, because man, oh man, it was awesome. So let's talk. So the Page of Wands is all about new ideas. It's about rebellion too. So this is the child that tells you, no, I'm not going to do this. Really, sunshine? You're not going to do this? Okay. So this is the child that tells you that they have the most brilliant idea in the universe and they're not going to do it. But we're in reverse. So we're being stuck on an idea we can't get out of. It's a brilliant idea, we think. And we're not willing to compromise our thought process to actually find out why it's not working. Why we can't get past the first stage. Now, one of the things about doing a reading is realizing that, okay, I get it. You can be quiet now. Is that when you realize that the core of the card is about an idea, or perhaps that a person is stuck, or a person is not moving forward due to the fact that they are in a thought loop, you have to figure out why or how. So when you look at the other cards, you're looking at the fact that this is your process of start. Okay, so I'm going to put it to my right. Usually you could do left, right. I'm left-handed, so usually shit ends up here. But because I'm looking with you, we're going to put it over to the right. So then I'm going to look at, so why are they stuck? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. And we're going to do it. Now, usually I can do the top half and then I'll do the bottom half. But for this particular reading, we're going to actually do a combo of both. So the reason why they're stuck is actually these two cards. Self-destruction, through victory, through defeat, through deceit, and the financial isolation card in reverse. So the reason why they're stuck is because they have been having financial issues. They've been feeling isolated because of those financial issues, feeling that they have no way out. So it could be that they've lost a job, they can't find a job. Their idea has to have money in order for them to get the fuck out of the position they're in. So for them, the choice that they can't make, remember, first card, this is the issue that we're dealing with. This is the whole basis for this. Money. Money's not there. They're trying to get money. They want the financial position to be better, but they can't do it. The other thing is they have a self-destructive tendencies. So there are things that they've done where they thought they were doing the right thing. Yay, look, I've gotten further and better because I suck. Because I've done this and I've done that. And what they did instead was that they turned around and basically blew themselves up. Yeah, they blew themselves up. They said, boop. Not good. No. So these two things work in harmony. Trying to get themselves out of a financial situation. Bad one. A lot of it came about because of the fact that they were deceitful to themselves. So that's part and parcel of what they're trying to do. And so you have that. Now, the other part that goes into this, and this is the playthrough, is Eight of Pentacles in reverse, which is enjoying work, the process of mastering their job. In reverse, we're not talking about mastering a job. We're not even talking about enjoyment. What we're talking about is struggle. They're struggling about work. They're struggling about finding something that they enjoy doing where they can actually feel like they're in control. So we have the fact that they need a job. They need a job that they enjoy. Because when they get bored, they have to find a way out because they feel overwhelmed. Choices taken away. No choice. They're stuck. No love. No love for the job. No love. No choices. Bad, 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 bad. Right now, my friends are laughing at me, and I really don't care. And I'm enjoying it. So, you also have the self-destructive tendencies. Now, this is something that comes up, and when I see it come up, I get very worried. There are people who are self-destructive in many ways. Which is why when I look at a deck, I look for the harmonic portion to this card that offsets the self-destruction, if there is a way. And the reason why is that self-destructive tendencies come in 4 modes. There are self-destructive tendencies such as they spend more money than they have, which happens, and it's not a bad thing. It's not like they do it often, but it's their way of coping. There's self-destruction where they physically hurt themselves, which is the thing that I worry about. You have the self-destruction mode where they are emotionally vulnerable and they are very bad at self-talk, which is also something I worry about. And then there's also the 4th one, which is where they sink into depressive levels that they cycle in and out of to the point where they get lower and lower and lower and they can't find a way out, which then leads from the other 2 points into this 4th point where they become a danger to themselves. Now, I mention that because of the fact that I know this by heart. I've been in that 4th position before. I've been lucky. So when I see that card, the 5 of Swords, pop up, I get worried. And so I always look for cards that offset that kind of a behavior, or tell me that the behavior is not as deep, or tell me that the behavior is just something that is being brought up by the actions at hand. So these 3 cards are in harmony. They're saying crap is hitting the fan. They're worried. They're upset. The idea they have is not working to get them the job that they want. They're financially feeling really insecure right now. And that's blowing their mental mindset. Their mental mindset's like, fuck it. They can't make right decisions because their mental mindset's shit. They're losing money. So then they're starting this really bad cycle. Now they're feeling insecure about money. So now they're feeling insecure about themselves. And it just keeps going over and over and over again. So you have harmony. All this is harmony. It's a sucky harmony, but it's harmony in these cards. Okay? There's nothing disharmonic about it. It may be a harmony you don't like, but it's harmony. Now, let's take these cards the way they are. We're going to leave them right here, right now. And we're going to talk about the 3 cards that are left. Now, what I do at this point is I see these cards and I go, well, shit. So I have a major arcana and I have 2 minor arcanas left that are in the upright positions. All 3 of them are. So then I realize that when I look at them, there's a harmonic between the 3 of them that tells me what's going to happen and the results. So all of this is going to bring about this card. Change. There's going to be shit hitting the fan in such a way it's going to basically break them. It's going to be a pick yourself up off the floor and either fucking do it or die. It's basically going to wipe the slate clean. So one of the things about Tower is that most people take the Tower mode and freak the fuck out. Please do not be this person. Don't. Tower is a good card in a lot of ways. It's scary. I'm not going to lie to you. When I see the Tower card, my first reaction is like, oh, really? But it means I got to rebuild and there's like work involved and like, oh my God, really? It's not that I don't like the card. It means that I have work involved. And really, usually by the time when that card shows up, I realize that I really don't have the time to deal with that shit. but I'm not going to have a choice. So Tower card means you're going to have shit to do. Everything you thought was solid isn't. It's going to be broken into pieces. You're going to have to clean up the crap and start fresh and new. But that's the point. Like a phoenix, you're going to be reborn. You're going to start on a fresh new playing field, able to do what you need to do. You're going to clear out the old cobwebs. You're going to get rid of the insecurities, financial and otherwise. You're going to find yourself, that fresh idea is going to find new pathways, better pathways. How do we know? You're going to get a news out of the blue. Opportunities. Sudden change. Woohoo! Sudden change, people. Tower. Change. Poof! Destroy everything you know and what you think you know. Sudden change out of the blue that says, hey, guess what, people? Oh gosh, you've been through so much. Guess what I have for you? I've got this great opportunity. I just fucking lost almost everything. What do you mean you have a great opportunity for me? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Are you interested? Well, yeah, that's perfect. Thanks. How do we know what that means? That means 3 of Cups. It's all about celebration with your friends. Your friends are the people who are going to be there for you no matter what. So, when we talk about your self-destruction, this is going to offset that mental self-deceit, that mental self-destruction. These people, this happiness mode, this security mode, this celebrating with others because you're celebrating what new things are going to happen, this sudden change out of the blue offsets all of these. So this 3 to 2 mode, that's what we're looking at. Okay? So we're basically telling you, not being able to make the change, not being able to make a choice, to wiping away that not being able to make a choice and giving you a clear playing field to start over. That's how harmonic and disharmonics work. So when you have a harmony within the cards, and these were all harmonic within themselves, or what you thought was disharmonic, you see this. And that's where we lucked out. We had basically a pure harmonic set. If there was a disharmony, and I can actually show you where the disharmony in the cards are. Most people would tell you having a sudden change with being stuck in a new idea is disharmonic. And they're right. Just taking out of the blue, if you just take the 2 cards in order because they're both red. They're both the wands. Now, these are both harmonic in their own way. Financial insecurity and basically not enjoying your work. They're harmonic. No choice. And basically breaking away everything that you ever known. There's still no choice, but start over. Basically taking away your choice. It's a harmonic, but it's also disharmonic because it doesn't allow you to have the first, which is where you should have had a choice had it been right side up. Then you come to this. Self-destruction and the 3 of Cups. This is a harmonic because one offsets the other. It's also disharmonic because they don't go together naturally. They don't work hand in hand. So you have basically what's called leveling frequencies. So one levels out the other. So that's where the disharmonic becomes harmonic, because then what they do is they become a complement. They basically offset each other's harmonies to create a better mode that makes it easier for you to do what you need to do. So that's where that goes. Now, I'm going to do another reading. We're going to do it with the Psychic Tarot. Ooh, this is going to be a long video with my face on it. I am so sorry. No, seriously, I'm so sorry. And I think you're going to enjoy this because I think we started to make sense. Now, a lot of people are like, well, it's easier to do it with the tarot because you know the meanings and blah, 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 blah. How can you do it with the oracle deck? I mean, blah. Because oracles, could mean multiple things at one time. Well, yeah, sure, but it's the same principle. There's a harmony involved in each card. Do the harmonies meet and match? Do they not meet and match? Overall, when you're looking at the reading itself, is there a harmonic issue? Is there a disharmonic issue that has to be resolved? It's not that hard. So, this time we're going to do 6 cards. Make it simple. Awesome. And the fact that we get harmony as one of the cards. I'm so freaking excited about this. So, we have 2 Arcana cards. Destiny and Harmony in reverse. We have 2 purple cards, one in reverse, one in not. We have Foundation and Achievements, and Obstacle and Objectives in reverse. We have Triumphant Success, and then we have Material and Spiritual Prosperity in reverse. Okay, so we're going to use the same process. So the major arcana are going to be our goals. Okay, so we know, well, it's not really a goal as much as it is a modifier. It's basically what is the issue at hand that we're dealing with. So we're talking about our destiny not unfolding the way that we expect it. And I have a doggy movie. I love it. So what we're looking at now is the fact that, Lord have mercy, I look terrible. Got to love my friends. We're looking at something for why is our destiny not happening the way that we think it should happen. First off, destiny changes, even though we may think what we know our destiny to be. Sometimes we don't live up to our destiny. We defy our destiny. We refuse our destiny. I defied my destiny for multiple years. I'm just gonna be straight on honest with you. From the time I was 21 until the time I was 30, well, almost 30. I was like 26 when I realized that my destiny was going to come for me whether I liked it or not. But it took me until I was 30 to actually get back on track. I denied my destiny. I said, screw it. I was going to play it safe. I was going to pretend I wasn't who I was. So I had a very rough time being who I am. I denied my gifts, my abilities, my talents. I hid it all. And if you had seen pictures of me from that time, you would have been shocked. I look back at a couple of those pictures and I really, really don't like it. So yeah, this is not something that is uncommon. Those who know what their destinies are sometimes, or feel that they know what their destinies are, get afraid and choose not to have that destiny. Now, destinies do evolve. Destinies do change in the sense of perhaps you're meant to be this great person who accomplishes X, Y, and Z. But as you go on your path, you realize that X, Y, and Z are not as clear formatted as you thought when you were 15 or 20. Now that you're 30, you realize X, Y, and Z are actually more open to interpretation. And your X, Y, and Z now are more approachable in some ways, and yet at the same time are bigger and bolder than you ever thought of. So one of the things I realized was I was always going to be a writer. I gave it up for a long time, and then I started writing again when I was 30. Became published within 3 years. Thought the only way I was going to succeed was to write romance. Really. I'm not going to lie to you. But my romance writing encompassed multiple genres. Multiple. Anywhere from thriller, mystery, horror, to paranormal, erotic, you name it, it was there. The thing of it is I didn't limit myself to a subgenre at all. I just went across the board. What I didn't realize was the fact that I didn't have to limit myself to writing novels. I had a major breakdown when my mom died. And it took a long time to get back to writing. I did get back, and then I started fading out again because part of the breakdown that happened ruined my focus and concentration due to factors of PTSD that I have had for years since a kid. It blew part of my ability that I did not realize that you're not supposed to use except when you are in a flight or fight state, which I lived in for almost 35 years at that point. And so I literally burnt it out. Most people get out of that state shortly after that state ends. Well, my state never ended for the longest time. So I lived that higher level of cortisol and more, and basically burnt it out almost. And they weren't sure I was ever going to get that ability back. It's kind of like a hyper focus, like an ADD, but more. I used to be able to hear conversations around me, notate everything, focus, and do like 17 things at once. It was awesome, and it was terribly scary at the same time. And then I couldn't focus enough to read a book all the way through without stopping, or write, because suddenly my brain would go blank because I was like ADHD worse. It was like squirrel. It was that bad. I'm not gonna lie. So my destiny shifted hard because I thought, honestly, I was never gonna write again. So in 2017, end of 2017, beginning of 2018, I became me, the other part of me, AL. Went back to who I was, my core, and realized through other writers online, people like C. Robert Cargill, through people like Larry Dixon, and multiple others, Diane Duane, who, oh my God, is brilliant as all get out, and others that writing, okay, and Ashcan, which is Matthew Rosenberg, Tom Taylor, Tom King, Gail Simone, who, bless her heart and soul, she is a inspiration to me every fucking day. Lexi Alexander, and more. I realized that my writing didn't have to always be writing a book. It could be writing a script for a movie or TV or web. And then I met the comic book writers like Gail and all them, and realized I could write comics and get my story across. And all of a sudden, my brain, which had been fried, opened, and I started getting my focus. Then I met Madam Kara, and he brought back a part of things that I never thought were possible, which was the desire and dedication to do what I need to do. So my destiny reshaped itself by realizing that I had limited what I thought was my destiny to bringing forth what my destiny really encompasses, which was a lot bigger and bolder than I could have ever dreamed of. So this, this is nothing except for the fact that you think your destiny is not there. This is the destiny protective mode. What are you limiting yourself from? Okay? So, in harmony, what are you not in harmony with? Woo! We already know what I wasn't in harmony with for the ages. So, let's look at the other cards. So, we're going to talk about harmony and disharmony again, which I find so fucking funny is that the harmony card, which is also the love card in this deck, in reverse. Yet again. So we're looking at material and spiritual prosperity in reverse. Okay. So disharmonic right off the bat, and obstacle and challenges in reverse. So I'm taking the two reverse cards first because, again, people look at the reverse cards and flip the fuck out. So I wanted to look at them and see, are these truly like disharmonic to the whole not getting our destiny thing? Or how we're viewing the fact of our destiny? So one of the things is the fact that, look at it, obstacles and challenges. Ooh, we're facing obstacles and challenges. Oh wait, it's in reverse. You mean maybe we're overcoming our obstacles and challenges? This is not a bad thing. Well then, so maybe it's a harmonic card actually, not disharmonic. So this card that says that we have prosperity, but we're not because it's in reverse. So we have a disharmonic card that says we're not having the prosperity on the spiritual or even on the material level. So we're struggling right now. Plus we have where obstacles have been in the way. So we have two cards that are in disharmonic proportion to each other. We're not having any prosperity because we've had obstacles in front of us. We've been tripping up, falling, and not achieving what we want, what we need on a psychic, spiritual, and material level. On every level possible, we've been bumbling and fumbling and falling. So these two disharmonic cards are actually evening themselves together. So how do we rectify these? And this is about one of the things you do when you read. What's the rectification? So we know that these were affecting why our destiny isn't coming to where we want it. That's why why we're not having a harmony with finding our destiny. Why our destiny doesn't seem to be where we think it is. So what we need to do is look to where the overriding harmonics can bring us to. So we know that we are getting rid of these obstacles little by little, so we can get out of that whole not having prosperity or any kind of achievement. The first thing we need to do is work on our foundation and achievements. We need to really look back at what was our foundation to begin with. Are we building on sand or are we building on bedrock? So when you look at your destiny shifts and change. Well, when you look at where you build your foundation for this destiny, did you build it on an idea that just never changed, never grows, never evolves? If so, then you built it on sand, and the waves have come in, and it's being brought out from underneath you, and it's collapsing. These two cards. This is giving you why the disharmony is here. Now, this card is telling you that this card, we can overcome these hurdles once we figure out what the foundation is and how to achieve a better way. So let's talk about what happens then. Once you find out what your foundation is and how to make the next achievement, how to get past these barriers, how to go over these challenges and make it through each challenge as it comes, then we're going to start basically making this disharmony be out of whack. We're going to basically override this harmony. It's going to be countered in accord with this. this chord is going to do this. And suddenly it's going to make a harmonic sound. And we're going to have triumphal success. So then you're talking about a 3-to-1 ratio of beauty. So then this harmony that's been out of place, this harmony that has been bothering you from the get-go, this harmony that has been so driving you mad because it's disharmonic on a level that tells you that things are wrong beyond all compare, will then tell you that your destiny has grown. It's not that you aren't going to reach your destiny. It's that you were limiting your destiny more than what was truly necessary. Your destiny is actually all-encompassing. It's bigger than you realized. And you need to embrace it. So that's how you look at oracle cards when it comes to harmony and disharmony. You find where the disharmony lies. You find how the harmonics go into pieces. And you find where the two main cards that are actually your foci. And read from there. Now, hopefully, that makes a little bit more sense. If you have questions, just put them below. I'll get to them. One thing I want to do, and I know this is like almost an hour-long video. I may cut it into 2 parts to make it easier for everybody. Because I hate doing long videos like this. But I'm going to do a simple reading. And I think I'm going to do it with the tarot. I'm going to do a harmonic reading for everybody. It's going to be quick, simple, and easy. Just to let you guys know that I really thank you so much for being part of the channel. You guys are absolutely fab. My next goal is to actually do the readings for the month of June coming up for all the different signs. Groups like I usually do, earth, water, and such. So we're going to do that. And go from there. So let's take a look here. And we're going to do it 3 cards, I think. Oh, this is great. Okay. So we have 6 cards. We don't have any cups in this reading. And we have 2 court cards and 2 major arcana. So we have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. These are court cards, right side up. We have the 6 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles in reverse, Judgment in reverse, and the Chariot. So we're going to take this in order, just like we did before, and I'm going to give you a reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like as if you're sitting right across from me like normal. And basically this time you get to actually hear how I normally do it. So those of you who've never had a personal reading from me, this is going to be fairly new for you. It is just kind of like the readings I do with a pick a card or whatever, but in another way, it's going to be a little bit different for some of you because it's going to be a little bit changed. Those of you who've had longer readings or whatever, this is actually like a shorter reading that I do give. Well, hopefully y'all will enjoy it, okay? So we're going to go from there. So perfect. Okay, so we're going to talk about the harmonies on your cards and the harmonies of how this reading is going to work for you. This is a generalized reading. We're going to talk just a little bit about things that I see for you and things that you need to be aware of. So don't be afraid of the reversal card. I promise you it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It's just things that we're going to watch out for. And in fact, it could actually mean something very good for you. It just depends on how and why it comes into your life. One thing I do notice is that it is talking about the fact that you don't have a lot of patience, especially for long-term projects that can take longer than you expect. So that can play part of why sometimes you may have some financial issues, because those don't always want to pan out for you, and you don't really like to have them. You like to get your go and make things go quick and get your money back little by little. So one of the things I know that's been really kind of tough for you is that you don't like to deal with a lot of judgmental things. You don't always take action about your truth, and it kind of bothers you sometimes, and you always don't know why. When people do act in certain ways, why that affects you the way it does. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk about what you can do to become a little less judgmental on yourself and upon others, and maybe have a little bit better understanding about why that affects you the way it does. So it's kind of a wake-up call that you haven't had, and we're going to go for it. So easy, simple. So first thing we did is, of course, I told you a bit about the fact that you don't have a lot of patience. And it does play part of the judgmental thing. Some people tell you, patience is a virtue. Like the Mummy with Evie. Patience is a virtue. It's like, oh, hell no, it's not. Patience can be a pain in the ass if you have to wait too long. And we get it. I get it. So one of the things that you have to realize, though, is that embodying the Queen of Swords is all about fairness. It's all about being your own person, but it also means that you have to be aware of you, that intellectually speaking, things take time. Not everything comes to fruition fast. You have to be aware that things do take that time, and you need to take that in consideration with a long-term project. You have to prep for a long-term project in the way you do for your short-term projects. Beginning, middle, and end. And know that sometimes your end is going to be further out than you realize. But plan for that, and plan for the fact that in that gap, plan for a small project in between. That way, when you get to the end of your actually long project, you've already done something in between that's grabbed your attention, so you don't fuss and muss about waiting for that end. That's one of the things about being the Queen of Swords, is the fact that you have that insight to prep for those things. That's going to give you a better harmonic moment for you. And we know the fact that you are a passionate creator. Oh my God, you have the passion for new ideas. You have the passion for being courageous. You are self-assured. That's something that's come across. I mean, 2 queens in the same reading for you is amazing. It's a harmony that most people don't often see. So when you get this for yourself, this is the way that says, take note of me. I'm a fucking queen, baby. There's going to be none of that shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to need it. I don't want any issues. Judge me for who I am and what I do, not for what you think I may be. So that harmony you need to translate into actually your work. We know because you've had hard times. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes the waiting gets to you. You've had such hard times before, and you have been recovering from hard times just recently. Things that you don't talk about. It's one of the reasons why you hate being judged. It's one of the reasons why you hate having long-term patience on things, because sometimes those have failed for you, and it has scared you. That's one of the reasons why I'm telling you to make those short-term plans to happen in between those long-term projects. It'll reassure you that you're going to have things come in even while you're waiting for the long-term plans to finish out. By doing that, it'll be a reassurance for you. This disharmony is a harmonic within itself. It's saying, hey, we know why. We get it. We know why you don't like to be judged. We know that judging is something that you want to prevent now and in the future for yourself and to others. We know that you want to be that compassionate person. We know you want to be that self-assured. We know you want to be fair. Because we know your goal is to be confident, to take charge, to be balanced, and to lead others into a better themselves, and to be a better you. And this is your overriding harmonic. This is your goal, is the Chariot. That belief and blend of good and balanced. So you want to move forward. You want to take action. So these are the actions of a queen. Confident, knowledgeable, self-assured. Use these as lessons. Use them as a harmonic mode of saying, look, this is my past. It affects my future in the sense that it's a learning mode. I learn from my mistakes in this manner. I can learn from it and be better from it. Don't judge me based on this. Don't let this be the way that you think I'm always going to be, because that's not how I'm going to judge myself going forward. And that's not how I'm going to judge others. I'm going to have compassion. I'm going to have truth. Because the way I see things is going to be in balance. It's going to be the way of being confident and secure, moving forward. Always moving forward in that balanced view. So there you go. That's a reading using harmonics and disharmonics, allowing you to be a little bit more balanced and basically feel a little bit more confident in your reading style. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. If you want more readings like this where you actually get to see my face, let me know. We're going to do more pick-a-card readings. I'm going to do a lot of other stuff. Pick-a-card readings, you're probably not going to see my face. It's going to be straight on the cards itself. But if you like these kind of things where you get to learn a little bit more about the whole aspect of what's going on with tarot, tarot style readings, what they mean, things of that nature like this, then I will do more. It's not a problem. This getting my face part here is a little bit weary, but we'll go with it. Until next time, Bendithian.